Hey everybody, it's Mark Yagi. Welcome to the last Market Pulse of 2024. I can't believe this year is over. It seems like I was just making my predictions. I'm not a big prediction guy, but the predictions that I made, the stocks to be in for 2024 turned out to be pretty darn good. But God, it seems like that was just yesterday. Anyway, here we are, last Market Pulse of the year. So let's give it a shot here, and I hope you're doing well. We're in a red market, so it's pretty tough to do well in these red markets. But you can still do okay. I just got off our mastermind call, and most of us are smiling and happy. So let's go into it. So last week we talked about how we have 4 red lights. Well, this week we also have the 4 red lights. We had a little bit of a recovery, but I'm going to tell you, recoveries on low volume doesn't mean recovery. So today we're feeling a little bit of downside pressure. This market doesn't feel to me like it's recovering. In fact, I took a picture earlier and all the stocks on my screen were red. And I got a watch list of like 30 stocks. They were all red, every single one of them. So this is not feeling like it wants to go green just yet, but you never know. These markets could go green, quickly. This system that I have doesn't let the market automatically go green. We have to be yellow. So the earliest that we can go green is in the new year next year, which is probably next Thursday or Friday. We'll see if we have all this newfound new optimism and New Year's resolutions or whatever going into the new year, and the market goes up, whatever. We'll see. So let's take a look at the markets. Here's the NASDAQ for you. The NASDAQ is kind of in this little consolidation. This candle here at the end doesn't look very good, but it's today's candle, and it's really low volume, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. That's not telling the story. This S&P is starting to tell the story. It's hitting this 50-day moving average again. It hit it about 5 days ago, tested it, it did well. It's going back in to test it again, but it's testing it on low volume. So that means a bounce possibly, or probably. The Dow Jones is telling the bigger story. That's a break below the 50-day moving average. It's been hanging out here for 6-7 days now, and it needs some work to get back over the 50. If it does, now it's in line with the other 2 averages I just talked about. So that's good. And then the New York Composite looks the same, but it's a little bit farther away from the 50-day moving average. So there's some work to do on the big index here and the Dow. So, I don't think we're going to go green like anytime real soon. I think we got to work through a couple of selling issues, and we've had a lot of selling. Look at that selling here over the last few weeks. It's been quite a bit. And, I don't know if we're going lower. It could be making a dreaded H pattern and want to test this 50-day moving average. I'm sorry, this 200-day moving average. Let's hope not. Let's hope we get a little bounce from here. Anyway, you can see the volatility index is up around 17. It's been for the last year, 13, 14, 12, somewhere in there. All of a sudden it's bouncing up a little bit of panic setting in. But, it's the end of the year. And a lot of people take profits for taxes, and the mutual funds take profits to clean up their books. And, we only have another trading day or something or 2 left in the year. So, we've got to we've got to remember that that's happening out there. Okay. Apple, look at Apple. It's, from 219 all the way up to 260 was a beautiful run. It's a 40-point run, right? And, any kind of 40-point run where it goes up at a 45-degree angle like that, it's beautiful. But people are going to be taking profits, especially here at the end of the year. They're going to use it as an excuse. And the stock is down $4, $5, $6 today on fairly low volume again, though. So I'm not too worried about Apple. A little bit of profit taking going on, but profit taking in a red market, I don't see a lot of problems with that. If you do covered calls with us, we have a program called the Cash Flow Machine, and we buy the stock like Apple and we sell calls against it, and we use those calls to create income. Apple is paying about $185 a contract. So if you have 10 contracts or 1,000 shares, you end up making $1,800 a week, and we'll show you how to do that. So, but Apple's a pretty conservative, little low volatility stock. You can see it's got 17% volatility, pretty low compared to some of the other ones that I'll show you. Here's Tesla. Now, Tesla's got a 45-degree angle, but it's on the heels of a couple of gap ups, 3 gap ups in this big move up. So there's going to be some profit taking up here. I don't care what's going on with Elon Musk and how much government influence he's going to have. People are going to take some profits, and that's what's going on right now. The stock is pulled back a little bit today, quite a bit, earlier this morning. And so you're seeing a pullback, and I don't know if it's going to stop. I see a little support line right in here at 410 or so. Maybe it's about 415, something like that. But, you got to be cautious when a stock is this high and extended, it wants to pull back. I don't know exactly where that level is. I think it's going to be around this 410 level. We'll see. If not, then it wants to go all the way back to this 360, and that would be a big drop from here. We don't want to see that. But, you know, talking about doing covered calls, here's a covered call on Tesla. It's paying $1,545 a contract. So if you have 10 contracts, that makes you $15,000 a week. So, you know, that's pretty good. I mean, if you can do that, you're getting 180% a year. I'm not saying you can, but I'm saying you do this over and over again, and it calculates out to 180% a year. And most of us probably aren't doing that in our CD accounts and our mutual fund accounts and our bond accounts, things like that. So this is a system that we teach that kind of gives you a little bit of an edge because it takes advantage of the gambler on the other side of your trade. And that's the person that's buying your call from you. But anyway, we talk about that on a lot of different places. NVIDIA, it's at 135. NVIDIA is basically between this 150, 130 area, just kind of consolidating in here. And I don't see it breaking out. I think a lot of selling going on. Every time they're selling, there's buying. Every time there's buying, they're selling. And it's kind of equivalent. So I just don't see NVIDIA breaking out. I really don't see it breaking down, although it's below the 50-day moving average. I don't like that. But NVIDIA is probably fine. It's just going to be sitting here for a while until it gets rid of all the sellers. That's how I've seen it for a couple of months now. MicroStrategy is a big stock that I've got a MicroStrategy series. It's 20 videos deep on YouTube. It's a playlist that starts around November 20th. And this has been an unbelievable ride on a stock that is exciting. It's a new technology called Bitcoin, and it's got a CEO that's in engineering. He's doing financial engineering on this company, and the stock is just going crazy. It's pulled back, and if you know me or know anybody that does anything, a lot of us are in MicroStrategy, and it's doing really well. And here's just to give you an idea about it. You got to watch it because it's a risky company, but this one's paying $1,534 at the money, which if you got, you know, 10 contracts is $15,000, and 233% is the covered call return on that. So that's saying that you can do that over and over again. So there's some excitement in MicroStrategy. There's some risk in MicroStrategy, but it's pretty cool. Amazon is kind of pulling back on a breakout. It is still technically on a breakout, but it's kind of consolidating some gains here. I don't think Amazon's going to be pulling back too much more. I think there's too much Christmas momentum, shopping momentum going into the end of the year, and when they report their next numbers. Not a company that I'd be worried about. In fact, I think it could be this one with Microsoft could be a couple of my big stocks for the 2025 year. I don't know. We're going to see when I do my analysis coming up. Mara Holdings is a Bitcoin company. It's pulled back. Be careful on these Bitcoin plays. I think long-term, they're great. Short-term, there's a lot of volatility. Coinbase, same thing. It's pulled back to the 50-day moving average. A little bit risky. And then here's Microsoft, and I'll end here on Microsoft. You can see Microsoft's, you know, got a nice looking chart all the way up, you know, where it hit 468. Then it couldn't go back up to 468, went to 456, and now it's right back at the 50-day moving average. I think the move is to the downside short term on Microsoft, but I think Microsoft is doing some really good things, and they might be a stock to look at for 2025. It's been a pretty good run in 2024, but I think 2025, I don't know, I have a feeling about this. I got to do some analysis before the new year here to see if it makes my list. But anyway, that's about it for me. This is the last Market Pulse of the year. I sure appreciate you being here. If this is the first one, welcome. If this is the 52nd one, welcome back. And thanks for being here and supporting us and supporting the channel and supporting me. I really appreciate it. You know, as always, go out and enjoy yourself. We got a nice long weekend coming into a holiday weekend, coming off a holiday week. So I hope you have a fantastic time. Love your family, love your friends. Try to laugh as much as you can. And Happy New Year to you. And I'll see you in 2025. All the best. Bye.